A lot of people are skeptical about holistic veterinary medicine. Here's a story about a pet mom whose skepticism turned to support when the holistic approach provided a better solution for her dog.
Well, my journey to adopt Muggsy was a rather interesting journey. I've always loved bulldogs and boxers. It was just a really fun breed, and they kind of matched my personality. So I started looking online. Initially, thought I would find a dog here locally. Then I came across this adorable mug shot of a dog named Boomer, and I just knew that that dog was just the dog for me. And then I saw that he was in Beverly Hills, California. Since I was in Seattle, it made it a little more complicated. I kind of stewed about it for a couple of days, and then I knew that any other dog that I saw, I just was not gonna fall in love with like that. So I made the decision to contact the rescue leagues, and then I basically booked a plane ticket, flew out to Los Angeles, and met Muggsy for maybe about an hour or so. We hung out and played, and then I just adopted him then and rented a car and drove back to Seattle 19 plus hours straight. And he was a little skittish at first, but then after just being in the car with me, and he was fine, and we've been best buddies ever since then. When we got back to Seattle, he was fine for about a month. You know, he was really happy, you know, typical puppy, getting into stuff, storing glasses, furniture, things like that. Then about a month and a half or so after living in Washington, he just started getting really sick. He started to have hives and really itchy skin. He was scratching his hives to the point of bleeding. His hair was falling out. His eyes were tearing. He was vomiting. I mean, it was just one symptom after symptom after symptom. And so I took him to the vet, just a traditional kind of Western medicine vet. And they suggested a bunch of things like, let's try antihistamines, let's try steroids, let's try, you know, basically every Western medicine approach that they could think of. And every single thing that they tried made him worse. They gave him steroids, they gave him antihistamines. He just developed, you know, more and more symptoms on top of the symptoms that he already had. And they referred me to go see a dermatologist. And, you know, it did turn out that he does have 13 environmental allergens, like pretty significant ones: grass, pollen, dust, things that he can't avoid being outside. And he recommended that I do, you know, immunotherapy with him, give him 13 injections a week. And at that point, I was just so distraught. I did immunotherapy for 2 years. I'm no healthier now than I ever was before I did it. So I just couldn't justify putting him through that since he has the same allergens that I have. I just didn't think that they would help. I just felt pretty hopeless. I felt like nobody could help him, and I didn't know what to do. I was so sad because he was a part of my family. He's like, you know, a child to me, and to see him go through all that pain and to not be able to help him, I felt really lost. Thankfully, I knew someone that said that they knew a different kind of vet, an Eastern medicine vet who did acupuncture and Chinese herbs. And at the time, I kind of laughed because, yes, I've heard of acupuncture for humans, but I had never heard it for animals. So I was like, I don't even know what to say right now. Are you serious with me? There's an Eastern medicine vet that does acupuncture. But at that point, it was either 13 injections a week, or I can try a sixth opinion at that point.
How can tiny little needles make such a big difference in Muggsy's health? Stay tuned. Muggsy had a lot of health problems, from allergies to digestive issues. Let's see how now, with holistic medicine, he's on the mend.
Muggsy is a boxer American Bulldog mix, and Carly rescued him when he was about a year old, and he came with a lot of issues, mostly skin and gut. So a lot of diarrhea, a lot of vomiting, and skin breakouts. He would get hives and rashes and be really itchy, and his ears would be all inflamed. I see a lot of skin and gut allergies in a lot of the bully breeds, and it seems like the more white fur that they have, the worse those conditions can be.
She seemed pretty confident that she'd be able to help him, and she's treated many dogs like him before. So we went in, and he sat really well through the acupuncture. I didn't think he would ever sit still for the acupuncture. He was a pretty energetic dog, and I was amazed by after, the first 3 or 4 needles went in, he was pretty calm and relaxed, and he seemed to enjoy it, and he just looked really happy.
Acupuncture helps pain through a few mechanisms. It helps the body release the natural pain relievers that we all have in our body, so natural opiates, endorphins, and enkephalins, and serotonin, which is another pain-relieving pathway, but also helps relax the body. So you get relaxation of muscle spasms, you get improvement of blood flow, which helps to clear out inflammation, and you also get specific nerve conduction changes from the segments through the spinal cord coming to different parts of the body, so you can affect which kind of firing different nerves are doing to help calm down inflamed and angry, painful nerve signals.
Pretty quickly, I noticed a huge change. Within 3 to 4 days, a lot of his symptoms started to get better. He wasn't as itchy. His skin seemed to be less inflamed. His demeanor seemed to improve. He didn't seem so lethargic and so sick. And then after 7 days, I would say 7 or 8 days later, almost all of the symptoms were completely alleviated. I couldn't believe it.
His pulses are nice and strong. He doesn't have any sensitive areas along his back. His skin looks really good.
And after a while, it just ended up being, what we kind of kid around and call it the tune-up or the maintenance, where he pretty much goes in pretty religiously every, I would say, 8 to 10 weeks. And I always know if I haven't gone in pretty religiously, because at that 10th week, he starts to kind of have like a little weird kind of flare-up or an allergy or an itch. And then I'm like, oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's been about 10 weeks. I haven't brought him in to see Dr. Ruers.
A holistic approach can help Muggsy or any patient, really, because we look at the whole patient. So certainly we'll use Western medications if needed, or if they need surgery or x-rays, of course we're going to do that. But holistic medicine fills in the gaps for nutrition, supporting their immune system, making sure that their body is in prime condition to restore and repair organs. So if we just give them the support, then the body has an amazing capacity to heal itself.
He's pretty healthy. I mean, obviously, I kind of kid around and call him my lemon dog, because he's pretty much had every condition known to mankind. He's had cryosurgery on his eye, he has acid reflux, he has indigestion, he has allergies, he has hives, he has gastrointestinal difficulties. I can go on forever. He's pretty much had everything. But all those things are maintained really well with the acupuncture and the herbs. And when he has some new weird condition that he develops, like he often does, I call Dr. Ruers, and then she gives him an herb or does some kind of acupuncture treatment, and he does really well. So he's maintained his health and improved his health significantly because of those approaches, and I'm very grateful.